I thought I'd make a quick video to show you the difference between my homemade humidity machine and a hydrofogger, which seem to be quite common in the mushroom growing circles. Now I've used both of them. I've just got the hydrofogger set up, and there is a very noticeable difference between the two. Initially, this one puts out a lot less humidity from what it appears than this thing. This thing just hammers it out. And this thing is a bit louder, I would say. Well, maybe not louder, but just makes a more raspier sound to it than my homemade one. This uses ultrasonic vibration plates to create the moisture in the air. And I'm not too sure how the hydrofogger does it. I haven't had a look inside, but it might be some sort of spray nozzle, which is spraying, and then a fan's blowing the fine mist up. So I'll get them both going for you, and we'll be able to compare the difference. I'll turn my nozzle here away, and I'll leave this nozzle off. It does actually visibly decrease the amount of humidity, which looks like it's coming out of the top when you put that on, and it kind of condenses into it. So I'll leave it bare, and then we'll run both of these, and we'll see which. We'll have a look at the difference between the two. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but this is the difference between the two. You can see the volume of humidity getting pumped out of this, and you can see the volume, I'll try and get a good angle, the volume getting pumped out of this. Oh, that's just turned off because it's my probe is right in the way of the humidity. Stand by. Right, there we go again. So, on the face of it, I think this here, the homemade one, is really putting out a considerable amount of moisture. I mean, that's just soaking wet steam hitting it. Where this here, maybe not quite so much. I will probably tend to use, this here gets it up to the room up to humidity in almost seconds. I think this is going to take a lot longer. Reliability wise, the hydrofogger, it's purpose built. This is homemade by me. And I don't know how long those Chinese, I don't like Chinese equipment, it always breaks. It's got Chinese parts in there. The 12 plate ultrasonic mister plate that sits in there, and I don't know how long those little misting heads, there's 12 of them, will actually last for, so they could start going. So I have brought this to use purely for reliability purposes, and of course there's a lot less risk of fire and danger when that's because that's been made for this purpose. On this one here, this fan here is actually an IP68 fan, so that is actually a waterproof fan, so I'm not too concerned about that. But it's just the obviously the 12 plate mister in there, that's the power supply running for it there, and I've put it up there just so it's out of the way, because there's 240 volts running into there, and I don't want it anywhere near sort of the ground or where moisture can drop, so I don't like that, because that's Chinese as well, and we all know China doesn't really know how to make reliable electronics. But you can see how misty it's getting in here now, and that's predominantly from this one, not the hydrofogger. But I'll run the hydrofogger, and we'll see how that goes. As I said, for reliability wise, I'll probably just keep this in here and have that doing the job, and I'll keep this as a backup, so if I get any failures here I can use that there. It's hard. I bought this over from America and it cost quite a bit. It ended up costing about 750 New Zealand dollars to land here, so it's a bit of an investment to get it here, but I'm hoping that, you know, I should get a lot of use out of that, reliable use, to sort of justify spending that, whereas this here was probably, I don't know, a third of the price. and probably $200 or $300 to build. Maybe half the price with the fan on there. That fan's quite expensive, but yeah, I just simply don't know how long that misting plate in there will last.